Dun, 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 dun. All right, is it working? Check, check. I don't know if this is working or not. Am I live? Bear with me. Am I live? Can anybody hear me? Oh shit, I can't control this mic. Can't tell if my microphone's working. Test, test. Anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Testing, testing. 1, 2. Okay, I got too many windows open. Oh. Okay, I got too many windows open. Aha. All right. Mic's working. All right, we're going to wait for people to show up. Oh, I got comments. Somebody's answering me. Oh, thank you. Somebody answered. Live chat. Why can't I see? Ah, thank you. Oh, nice. Okay. All right. So Straws, if you want to join, no pressure. If you want to join, go back to Def Chat. Want to join the panel? I have a link, and I should be able to add you. Huh. What a fucking mess this was to put together. Oh, yeah. God damn it, Straws. You gotta read both nights, bro. Alright, we'll fake it. Alright, so Straws is gonna be the authority on night 2. Perfect. A little easy listening for you, folks. Oh, yeah. It's MAXDEF. We're beefing and talking about all of summer's best show. It was 2 nights, but Ryan only read one of those special nights and completely neglected my life-changing angle on night 2. Yeah. Alright, I probably should get some more music lined up. This is great. Alright. and cut. And we're going to go here, and I'm going to go there, and I'm going to get this guy. I'm going to add him. Stand by, Mr. Gorman. Stand by. Stay on target. Stay on target. Why didn't it work? Assign placeholder. All right, so now I'm going to go to network. Gorman. Assign. I remember how to do this shit. This is so exciting. Can you hear me, man? Can you hear me? Anybody? Testing. 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 No? 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 Maybe not. Can you hear me, Gorman? Gorman, can you hear me? Gorman? Gorman, can you hear me? Great. Oh, great. Oh, this is great. Okay. There it is. Gorman, can you hear me? Gorman, can you hear me? Oh my god, I love it. Alright, so he should hear live output. He should hear that. Testing, Mr. Gorman. Oh, he walked away. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Do you hear the words coming out of my mouth? Testing? Testing? Anybody? Shit. I don't think he can hear me. That's a no. I'm wondering if people can still hear me in the chat. It's just spinning. Interesting. Oh, I lost him. You got 3 bars, man. This is different. Oh, do it that way. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Everything's fine. Let's go back to these fucking smooth jazz, kids. Let's do it. You fucking love it. Yeah. Waiting for people to connect. Oh yeah, this is so worth it. Absolutely.
Marizia pra lá e assim não vou virar e acordar.
All right. Oh, snap. How about now? Can you hear me now? No. Wow, damn. That's bizarre. Let me try something here. Let me try this.
Oh, I can. Oh, hey.
Hey.
There you go.
All right. That's interesting. So stand by. Don't go
All
anywhere.
right. No, you're good. I left the closet door open.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, that's yeah. Okay, that's so bizarre.
Weird. I trapped my cat in the closet looking for my
Oh, perfect.
Ethernet. I'll be right back.
Perfect. Yeah, man. Oh my god, that shirt is so fucking money.
It's because I'm in such a sour attitude right now.
Dude, that shirt is so money. But you're frozen though on my screen.
Yeah, I'm frozen in life. Can you hear me at least?
Yeah, I can hear you. Isn't that the important thing? That's all that really matters. Oh shit. I love it. At first, all right, so I thought they were pineapples. I thought it was a swinger type of statement.
No. No, that's my... Okay, hang on. Is it working now? Kind of.
Man. Yeah, kind of.
It was.
Again, the audio is the important one. Yeah, you got like 2 bars as far as your connection goes. But that's like the best shot because you get those sick-ass sleep dope smoker posters behind you.
Yes, yeah. My collection.
Nice.
So, speaking of that, I didn't know that you could see me. You probably saw me pre-gaming in my stool.
That might have happened. I apologize for that. I went out for the world. We're live. Listen, when you connect, you're connected. That's how this works. So we'll give Rob a couple more minutes, I think. And then, because I think he said he was running some errands or something, and then, nice. I will ask anybody who's watching, and by that I mean probably just Joe. If you have comments and stuff, make the comments in the actual chat to the YouTube like you did earlier. That way I'll see them quicker, and I'll shout it out to the group, and they can respond to your remote shit talking if necessary. Straws, you're still with us, right? You're frozen in time. Yeah, but we might have lost Straws. You hate when that happens. So, Gorman, dude, how'd you do in the golf tournament, brother? Let's talk about that.
Oh, man. Terrible. Terrible.
Really?
I couldn't power up all the way I needed to. So, doing it like sober wasn't good.
It wasn't it?
No. No, we did all right.
Oh, nice. Hold on one second. Just realized I have sound coming out of my speakers. These headphones, my wireless headphones, things were getting a little funky, so I'll do it this way. Anyway, oh, there he is. So say again, Gorman. I'm sorry, man. I had to cut you off.
Oh no, it was at the course right down the road from my house, so it wasn't much of a competitive.
Nice. All right, let's see. All right. How much have we read the
Straws
show?
is still frozen for me.
Straws is still a little frozen for me too.
Yeah, I'm just frozen in life. I mean,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
Listen.
I've read night 1. I'm gonna need you to recap everything on night 2.
Oh shit! There's you're gonna get spoiled with some good shit. Night 2 was good.
Beat by beat. Well, I'll read along. You
Okay.
guys can't see me doing it anyway, but
Yeah.
I'll just be over here reading night 2 while we're
Talking about Night 1.
Yeah,
Night 1.
yeah.
I read night 1 yesterday, and then I speed read night 2 this afternoon.
I kind of speed read it in both the days they came out, and then I went deeper today.
Yeah. I always get the problem where I get on something like if I'm trying to speed read, I always get caught up because I like get into something that's good, and then I go back and like read everything.
Joe says if we're still going by 8:45, he'll join. I think he's timed that out to be the Night 1 main event, I think, in his head. He wants to swoop in for the accolade, which is smart. I mean, listen, I'm not even mad at that. Oh, man. I love it. I love it. All right, we're going to give our buddy Rob a few more minutes. So my wife is having a girls' night. She's got a bunch of her friends over, and they're in the pool. They've been in the pool since 1 o'clock, drinking. I had to bring them more beer. And,
Nice.
Yeah. If at any point they come spilling into this room, I apologize, and simultaneously, you're welcome for the entertainment.
They started selling the THC beers at the golf course.
Okay.
And there was a bunch of dudes there who I'm pretty sure like that was their first time. 'Cause
that stuff will sneak up on you probably, especially if you're drinking beer also in the sun. That will sneak up on you hardcore.
There was one guy who was just like standing in this like little group of trees, and I know who he was, but I just waved at him. He just waved at me. He just was standing there, and we just kind of drove by. I think he's probably still there.
I was just gonna say he's probably still there right now. Oh, it's beautiful. All right, I'm gonna give Rob another 2 minutes, and then we'll just start on night 1. I mean, dude, there's worse angles, Strauss. There's worse angles.
True.
I think Brian's captured a few of my more unflattering moments. What's that, Corman?
I got two. I have 2 pictures of him frozen. One, the one he's like sitting back. It looks like his hands are like he's like.
Which was probably the better one to stick with, but you don't get control over shit like that.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll try to fix the issue, but I don't know. I think
that's all good. Hey, listen, at least this time it's not going to impact your performance in a game of Jeopardy, which, looking back at that, I went back at it and I watched it, did a forensic study, and I think you would have won that game if your connection was better. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I would have. Yes.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, what Jeopardy? Yeah, I totally remember this.
What do Arc Docs do?
What are Arc stuff? Yeah. Oh crap, we got that whole rigmarole happening again.
Tell me about it. The other day, I'm sitting in my office and I smoke, and I set the fire alarm off. So now I'm like paranoid. Every time I smoke, I'm like,
oh yeah, it's like kind of like, oh no.
Well, the other night I was 5:15 in the morning. One of them just randomly just went off. Fire, carbon monoxide, and I'm like, I jump out of bed and I run through the whole house, and I'm looking and there's no fire, and apparently it was a low battery. And that's a great way to remind you to.
That is a great way to get your battery. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then I changed the battery, plugged it back in because it was also hardwired, and it still would still go off. So now I just don't have one there. It's unplugged. I think I might just put it in unplugged without the batteries in just for show. And that's when you guys hear about me, when I just disappear one day, you're going to be like, I bet it was a fire, man. Remember that conversation? Remember that live stream? It was a fire that got him. That's kind of dark. That's a dark way to
log back in and see if that does it. And if not, we'll just sit here and lie ugly face.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you got like half a thumbs up. You're frozen on the thumbs up.
I got the half a thumbs up. Okay.
I'm better with that. Oh, that's smart. That's smart. Oh shit. Okay, gentlemen, let's talk about MAXDEF. We're going to talk about MAXDEF 2024. Let me just make sure I got this right. I got to write this down. All right. So we've got MAXDEF 2024, which I was going to do this whole thing. I totally ran out of time today, where I was going to come up with like a MAXDEF quiz. How many MAXDEFs have there been? How many title changes? How many times has the fist changed hands? Or the Soher, right? I was going to do this whole thing. I completely ran out of time. Because I had to read both shows. If I didn't have to read the shows, this would be there would have been an amazing segment planned.
Yeah.
But it's MAXDEF 2024. Summer's always tough when you're, it's fucking hot. The weather's crazy. When the weather's nice, you want to do something nice. There's more activities. To stay active in the summer and keep a Fed active in the summer is tough. I feel like I struggle.
It's coming off the biggest show of the year, so it's like everyone's blowing their load.
Hangover, yeah. The DEF CON hangover is a real phenomenon. I certainly struggled. Towards actually the end of the arc. I was trying to stay ahead, but then the weather was so fucking good and my pool hasn't been driving me crazy, so I've been using it a lot. So I struggled to kind of stay motivated, but we made it through the other side, and now on to the next arc. But let's talk about MAXDEF. First match on night 1 was Dex Joy taking on Punch Drunk Purcell. Purcell has been an awesome story, I think, in Defiance as far as how he's grown as a character pretty much overnight. I feel like he's less than a year, certainly less than a year on the main roster, but less than a year in creation. And so again,
he isn't very long, was he?
No, I don't. Maybe 6 months. But again, just another example of Seth pulling a character out of his ass, just creating him and making him interesting. And again, up against Dex Joy, still in that top tier in Defiance as far as a babyface goes, coming off a very long dominant fist reign, but a fist loss. Bouncing back into this feud was, I thought, an interesting choice to go babyface versus babyface, but I think this made sense. I loved this feud, obviously. I called it. I wanted them as a tag team coming out of this. It's ultimately what we got. So I thought this was a lot of fun. What did you guys think about the feud or the match itself?
I thought the feud, I guess at first it was kind of surprising because, he's coming off of facing Malik Garland and losing the fist and, everything. Like, that's a pretty high level feud, and he was on top for so long. But now that everything is done, it all makes sense. And I liked it because usually, if somebody's going to get elevated like Punch Drunk Purcell did, by the end of this match, it's usually like just your standard heel face kind of, squaring off, just do face, and then really have Dex Joy take him under his wing in the end and form a tag team in an already crazy strong division. I think it was, it's typical Seth and Marcus working together where, it all made sense in the end and it was really well done. Yeah, and the match itself was awesome. They like their hoss fight. They
do. I don't know if I've ever really seen a big man versus big man match open a pay-per-view and be this hot and this good. Straws, what'd you think?
Yeah, great match. Definite hoss fight. I mean, what I really liked about this feud too, like the face versus face thing, it was a very good natural wrestling feud. I want to say where it's like, we have one match and it ends in a double, count out. Then we have another match and it's almost kind of like, Dex wins, but it's almost kind of like off like this miraculous kind of thing. So I love the kind of series, the 2 of 3 kind of. They kind of come out even. Like I was not really expecting them to kind of team up at the end, but that was a very nice and enjoyable touch of just like, hell yeah, we put it all out here and let's tag up and let's make this tag scene even more stacked. That
Right.
Now it's super stacked with these two guys. Like, but yeah, this was a great win for again, like you said, like how Punch Drunk Purcell's just kind of had this overnight success and become like a huge star all of a sudden. And like, there's like really good things in the match. I really liked how Purcell is learning a little more wrestling, and then Dex has to change his kind of match, and there's callbacks to these matches and all that.
Yeah.
We got Rob on.
Hey.
Hey, brother, what's going on? Hang on, bear with me. I'm going to try and get you connected here. Why isn't it showing up?
I like that too, Straws, that like Purcell was breaking out like actual new technical moves in the match.
Yeah.
That and the rope break spot. That was
Yes.
that was cool.
All
I think I was talking to Joe or somebody not too long ago about like that Rockers Heart Foundation match where the rope broke and the Rockers had actually won the titles, but it got, revoked. So when I was reading it, I was like, oh, I wonder if something's going to happen where one of them wins and it's, revoked because of the broken ring. And then that's how they move on to the next match.
I thought it was interesting how they used that broken rope too. They used it kind of as a way to, Dex did his moonsault off of it. The moonsault that had finished everybody else, had won him his title, all that stuff. And then that being broke might have been the difference in him hitting that move and, winning that match. But I don't know if that would have changed the outcome. I don't think that would have changed the outcome at all of him proposing friendship to Punchy, which wasn't that a moment. Rob, welcome to the feedback, sir.
Hey, thank you for having me. I know I'm a little late to the party.
It's just starting.
But that entire opener was just pure heat. Like classic. Okay, the hot opener to set the pace for the show. Everybody loves that. Gets people really up and into the show, and like everything about it, like just from the. Even like straight from the entrance.
The entrance, Marcus writes a great fucking entrance, and he's got Dex's down, and I love it. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Dex entrance was great. I fucking love the Punch Drunk like honestly,
the entourage. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I just talk about how much Punch Drunk Purcell has grown on me? He has grown on me so much in such a short time. And he is quickly becoming one of my favorite characters in Defiance for no reason, like for a number of reasons, but most of all, just like he's one of the more like real characters without being like
Lance Storm.
Yeah, without being Lance Storm and without leaning onto that whole fourth wall sort of thing. Like he's just like this genuine, gritty character who I just love seeing do his thing on a Defiance card.
Yeah, I think that's a huge win too, and obviously you guys, two of you mentioned the tag division and just how stacked, how suddenly I feel like all of a sudden it's like bloop, back to being beefed up, if you will. You've got the lads, as they're calling themselves, Dexjoy, Punch Drunk Purcell, and I want to point out the lads and the bruvs. That feels custom made for a little bit, just on the name alone, custom made for some tension. The blood diamonds in their various forms, the precious gems, the atomic punks, PCP, obviously PCP, the standard bearer, the lucky sevens, the Rain City Ronin. You've got Connor Fuse, Dan Ryan, scrolling through. The tag team champions, the new tag team champions mantra. Like, yeah, the tag division is as thick as it's been, I feel like, since the peak of the SNS Lucky Sevens feud. That's when I felt like, with the comment section, like, that was the last time I feel like that this has been this saucy. And, it's sauced up. This tag division is sauced up.
Like, I'm, like, historically in all my years of e-fetting, like, I have always loved tag team stuff, like strong tag divisions as much as possible. And, and unfortunately in a lot of places that seems to be a lost art. But, in Defiance, like, as you said, the tag division is ridiculously stacked. And it seems like now there are just like more and more people entering the field with each show. Like, just like right now, like right off the bat, we're starting off with a new team that just threatens to run roughshod over the whole division.
Yeah,
and I cannot. Yeah. I am absolutely thrilled. Like, I cannot possibly be any more thrilled. I'm not coming in really. My camera isn't really coming in on a delay for you guys, is it?
No, not at all. Good. No, man. No, okay, look, not like Strasma's. Strasma's deep in thought.
Strasma's like he's ready to make a really strong point.
Yeah, Strasma, looks like you got something on your mind, buddy. Anything you want to say? Oh shit! Like, all right. Please go ahead.
It was like an old school. I don't know if you guys remember when, like, it was in New Japan, I think, when Vader and Bam Bam Bigelow made a tag team, but it was after. I'm pretty sure it was after they had feuded with each other, and that was back when Bam Bam was actually kind of like the Punch Drunk Purcell role, where he was newer, and Vader was in his prime. But that's the first thing I thought of when they made a team, was those two guys, which are awesome, man.
Dex Joy in the Vader role. Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite ways that a tag team can form. Just have two guys just beat the absolute piss out of one another, and then the feud settled, and like
respect.
That was fun. Why? Hey, imagine the kind of damage we'd do if we were on the same side.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. They definitely. That was pulled off beautifully. Dex proposing a tag team with Punch Drunk. There was another proposal on night 2. We'll talk about. Yeah, we'll talk about that. This was my favorite marriage proposal on the whole show. Up next, it was Butch Vic and DLJ. And it's crazy to me that we're here now, plausibly, believably, collectively rooting for Butcher Victorious in 2024. Just, again, speaks to the ability of Seth as a storyteller to tell a story in a compelling way and make you care about his characters in a very short amount of time. The promos he cuts on Def Radio are ridiculous. So yeah,
He is just an absolute genius at it.
Yeah, 100%. So this was, again, great match. Again, kudos to Seth. This kind of felt like the eventual Vic's eventual triumph over Vay Victus, which has been a huge part of his storyline arc in the last year and a half, 2 years probably. Jesus. I thought the Butch Vic choir was amazing for this. Butch Vic's headlock shit is so genius. Again, Seth finding a way to get a unique part of a character and sell it in a way that's just amazing. So I'll throw it to you, Gorman. What do you think about the Butch Vic DLJ story and how it played out here?
I thought DLJ was a perfect opponent for Butch Vic. I guess coming off of, like, Butch Vic's real hot, and like I think anybody any character who was gonna feud with him was gonna be elevated and just kind of ride that wave. So I thought I thought the match itself was great. I mean, it had action up and down, and both those guys got their stuff in, especially DLJ getting his stuff in, because I kind of thought Butch Vic would win. So I think it was a great feud, kind of like the first match where both guys, you know, maybe it wasn't. I think it was maybe more obvious that Butch Vick was going to win, but like both guys came out looking really, really strong at the end of it. So I'm curious to see where Butch Vick's going to go after this. He's probably one of those newer characters where, I mean, he could keep going up.
Well, with Seth,
So,
he could go anywhere.
Right.
Straws, what'd you think, sir?
Yeah, great match. I loved Butch just working the headlock through the whole thing. Like, that's his thing, you know. Like,
I could see that
Only
working on
30.
TV. I could see that working. Yeah.
and you know, DLJ got a pretty nice rub out of it too. Like Gorman said, yeah. I also like how DLJ is just kind of like front and center now, just the new kind of protege for Dave Victus. Really being kind of like moved up and stuff, and yeah, like Butch has been hot, you know. Way to take a character and reinvent him, and now he's pretty much like the guy leading the charge against them. You know, a good foil for like Sonny Silver on the mic. You know, the whole Butch Vic's got the stick, and yeah,
Butch Vic's got pills for your stick. I think was
Yeah.
one of my lines of the night. One of my lines of the night.
But yeah, great win for Butch. Just kind of continues that story. I don't know. Well, I don't know if Seth's going to continue this storyline along, but you know, with Oscar Burns coming back into the picture and stuff. But yeah, I mean, where do you go from here with Butch Vick? I guess is the question I would raise. You know, like, so he's got his win over DLJ, he got his win over Oscar. You know,
Right? Does he go after a singles title?
right? You know,
Right.
now that he doesn't have like Dave Victus to feud against, you know, where do you go from there?
Yeah, and I think to your point, Straws, the
I
point
imagine he'll probably form a tag team.
I could see that too. But I think to your point, I think it's one of those things where it's almost feels like the swan song for this part of Dave Victus's story. In that Butch Vick was a huge part of Victus in like a subtle way, but like that became really big. So his victory here sort of felt like that. The Rain City Ronin over the Besties Night 2 sort of felt like that closing of a chapter. Rob, your
Butch
thoughts
has
on
got
this
that
match?
Sami Zayn heat,
Yes. Oh yeah.
like Sami and the Bloodline kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could run with that forever. Rob, what did you think on this match? Did you say?
Well, let me put it to you this way. I remember back when Butch Vick was, I believe he was originally an Evan creation.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. So, yeah, like, and yeah, he was just like, just kind of just like
An asshole
there.
hipster, I think, was his gimmick.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, the way that whole bit went from, like, when he was doing the 96, 97 Disco Inferno shtick with the secret weapon finishing hold that he could never get right. So to go from that all the way to now where he is this white hot babyface, getting the huge payoff of this whole this whole bit with Victus is just like, you know, it's one of, like, you know, just like, first of all, like, where does the time go? But also, it really does just show, like, just how good Seth is, especially when it comes to, like, breathing life into these characters. And, like, you know, DLJ, no slouch either, looked like $1 million in defeat as well. But, like, there we go. And just, I love the headlock shtick so much.
It really
Yeah.
works. It works.
It's the kind of thing that would have. It's like, this is the kind of thing that you would think would be like a perfect shtick for a heel, like just like, you know, this rest hold stalling, just like stalling dickhead heel. But it works so perfectly in the babyface role.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for where he goes from here.
You had talked about the way Seth kind of breathes life into the characters. I thought about a GIF that Strasma shared the other day in one of the chats of, I think it was a Simpson thing of the guy throwing the frisbee to himself. Like,
Yeah.
Seth plays with himself a lot. He does. He plays with himself a lot. But honestly, I could watch Seth play with himself for a long time. Anyway, yeah. I mean, yeah. Anyway,
I don't know. I honestly don't know how Seth does it.
Yeah.
Like the idea of working whole angles like between several of my own characters, like, sounds like something like terrible to me. But somehow he pulls it off again and again. Like, how?
Yeah. Again and again. It's the consistency.
Yeah, and he's good at like the little things.
Yeah.
You know, like weird how he like, I think he gets inspired by like real life gimmicks or what or characters, but then he like just takes. He doesn't like copy them. He just like kind of takes all their best parts and makes it. Yeah,
he'll take like one idea with a character, and not like cram it down your throat, but like make it interesting. The headlock with Butch Vic, the Butch Vic that has the click, the stick that's thick, like all that shit. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense, but I'm in. Yeah. We'll have more to say on Seth later, I have a feeling. Up next, the match is Dan Ryan and Connor Fuse versus the Weighted Grade. The Weighted Grade, not mentioned in my slew of tag teams in the division that are a threat, but I love this. I love Roosevelt Owens and Bobby Horrigan are just two of the greatest. Oh my God. They're fucking perfect. They're fucking perfect, and it's a great tag team names, great names. I love, again, it's somebody else taking probably Evan's characters and doing something that Evan had no intention of them ever doing, but loving, obviously. Holy shit, Strasma's moving. Is Strasma moving? He's moving. He's moving. Holy shit! That just scared the shit out of me.
Out of here.
Oh my God, you did.
I was frozen and just standing still the whole time.
Yeah, while I was talking to you guys, I was upgrading my internet plan. Oh shit! Oh man! All right, so we had Dan Ryan, Connor Fuse, the Weighted Grade. We talked about the Weighted Grade. Let's talk about Dan Ryan and Connor Fuse. Let's talk about Dan Ryan back in Defiance and the story that he's told so far. That's been told so far. I didn't really know what to expect from this match, honestly. I wasn't sure if this was going to be a Dan Ryan turn, if it was going to... I didn't know what to think here. And they gave you a couple beats in the match where it's like, you don't know what you should expect, which I thought was cool. Very subtle.
I thought the same thing because Weighted Grade is no longer heavy artillery, which, you know, they were kind of, if this would have been heavy artillery, it would have been like a squash, like it would have been, but like Weighted Grade has elevated themselves enough and being associated with Reform that I didn't think, you know, it was going to be a good match, like a long match at least. And honestly, I don't really know much about Dan Ryan, so as the character, I just only know his name. So it was, I think it was a great match up and down. And, you know, for Connor, I think everybody got the shine, including Weighted Grade, which was a win for everyone.
Yeah, no, I thought it was good. Again, I liked that. Again, there was the unity shined through in this match. There's history with these guys, I guess, in How, I think is where the two characters have a history. Dan Ryan's got a long history in Defiance. He's the 3-time fist, I think it is. So it is interesting. I found that the pairing to be interesting. I thought the match was well written. And again, the tag division is thick. Strauss, what did you think about this feud? What do you think about Dan Ryan's return and his connection to Connor Fuse that's been playing out? And what the fuck are they planning?
I envy Grunk's ability to just cruise with any character he has so easily. Where, like, Ryan is just unflappable. And, with Connor, I mean, it's definitely like an odd couple. Like you were saying, there are definitely some beats in the match. You're like, can't really tell what's going on. And Seems like Connor can't even tell what's going on. Like there at the end, I like how it ends with a forearm. All things too.
That's my kind of match, dude. If you let me write a match, there'll be 5 moves in it. I fucking love that. Win that match with a forearm, goddammit.
It definitely feels like this is. I mean, there's more to continue here. I'm sure. You know, we're expecting something to come around, and
The shoe to drop.
where that leads. You know, like what's Dan Ryan's agenda here? What's you know, Connor, I always feel is a character that's like along for the ride with whatever he's doing. But like, yeah, really good match though.
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of tag matches on this show, and you know, after the first 2, like we have another one, and every match, I will say that every match has like been pretty distinct. Also,
Correct.
you kind of like goes in its own style, and it tells a little bit of its own story. So, yeah.
Rob, what did you think on this this tag match?
Well, for starters, like, I'm so happy to see Dan Ryan properly back. Like, he's always kind of felt like one of the standard bearers in Defiance, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, just based on his history, like how far back some of the most amazing feuds and matches that he's had, and he definitely feels like one of the elder statesmen, as it were. So, seeing him with this odd couple thing with Connor was, it was a treat. And I think my favorite part was just how at the end, after they win, he's just doing that whole thing of just looks like telling Connor, that's how we do it, man. Just showing how a guy with the stature of Dan Ryan handles business. And, just absolute treat.
I hate to think he could have ended the match at any time and just decided to do it right then as a point,
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Perfectly.
And I like how at the end that Connor and Dan Ryan started working together, and they hit some nice take double team moves like that assisted rolling thunder. I thought that was I actually YouTube that. That sounds pretty cool.
Right. What was that? Yeah, I do that a lot too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, great. Good match. And again, to everyone's point, I think everyone's kind of said it. It's just what's the next step? Where is it going? There's that intrigue there with the relationship between Dan Ryan and Connor Fuse that is going to evolve in some way, but in what way, right? So, again, good to see. The tag division's thick. I'm about it. Up next, we had a pre-match promo, featuring the Dirty Dogs. Again, I told Rob this privately. I think turning the Punks into Latin American legends just before this pay-per-view is fucking genius. and making them 15-time champions on that island and then just unleashing them back makes them, it kind of I was rereading it today. It takes the tag team that could be easily just kind of thought of as okay, they're a gimmick. But no, wait a minute. These guys are legit badasses, and here's why you should care. I thought the way that he built that was really brilliant. It made the match feel more important. It made the crowd. It kind of incorporated Puerto Rico. I feel like the venue, in a way, more into the fabric of the show and the presentation in general. So again, with the pre-match promo itself, I thought this was great. Added some weight to the show. Yeah, Rob,
Yes.
tell us about the Atomic Punks, about the Dirty Dogs, and kind of where this came from and what your thoughts were.
Well, I'd kind of been punting around the idea of them having a background of from Puerto Rico, because around this around the time that I really started to really hit the ground running with them, I got really, really, really into Puerto Rican wrestling. And if you've never seen it, it's basically Memphis and Espanol. Real gnarly brawls, bloody, borderline deathmatch shit. But with a bunch of dudes that are just absolutely hard as nails. But the thing that really made me want to go, like, just put me over the hump and made me decide to line into that was when Brush had actually asked me, hey, are the Atomic Punks just another gimmick for David Fox and Rashiki Hara, my previous tag team participants? And I said no. Like, I had kind of built like this whole thing about them, like coming from Puerto Rico, kind of being like stars there. And so, the idea of them being like these multiple-time World Tag Team Champions who were like over like gangbusters there is, it's realistic. It is very much a thing that happens, just like how when WWE first got Carlito, he was a big deal in Puerto Rico. So, like that, kind of that background.
Yeah. He was huge there, right. When they would go there, it was an event. Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
Is that where Bruiser Brody got stabbed?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. That's a whole other story. But like hell, like even if you just look at at Backlash last year, like even Savio Vega showing up on camera,
Correct.
like made the roof blow off.
Right.
Like pro wrestling is a huge deal in Puerto Rico, or at least it sounds like it when you hear the crowds. So like when that happened, I kind of just decided, you know what, I'm gonna lean into this. Yay! Hey, this pay-per-view is going to be in Puerto Rico. I can make this a big old homecoming about that. Let's go.
Yeah.
And that's why I had them do because Gigaton's whole thing has always been slow talking. So that's why I had him and Fission cut that whole promo in Spanish. Google Translate. But yeah, it was like it just clicked together, and I'm really personally, I can't speak for anybody else, but I'm personally really happy at the way it's turned out.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Gorman, what do you think about the tag match? The Blood Diamonds, the Atomic Punks. Again, before I throw it to you, Gorman, in your well-studied opinion, I want to preface this and just kind of summarize. Katz gets the Diamonds heat right back with a great quick promo. Starts with some backstage chaos, tears up the lab. This, to me, felt very much like a Kevin Sullivan, Chris Benoit, anarchy type of just match and chaos, or like one of those wacky WCW hardcore matches towards the bitter end where it was just fucking pandemonium.
Yeah.
I loved how it was written. Go ahead, Gorman. Yeah.
You know, I say, so I did not translate the promo, but I love that you did it in Porter. Like, I loved how you did it. I just, in my mind, was like, it's like when I'm on vacation watching like Telenovela, and I don't know what they're saying, but
I'm into
emotions, like, I'm into it. So I thought that was sweet, and then I really thought you guys did a good job of like then having the Blood Diamonds cut their promo, but then have like there's enough twists in this, like within the storytelling of the match, like having the lab, having them go destroy the lab. And then having that little brawl in there was very like added. Yeah, I guess like Kevin Sullivan, like maybe a little Attitude Era, like boiler room brawl, except it's just in a science lab.
On fire.
On fire. I thought it was I thought it was great. And then having it come back to the ring, it flowed really well. You packed a lot of stuff into like if I would have tried that, it probably would have been like twice as long because like. That's like writing wise, like trying to do all that flow and movement. And you did a good job at that.
Well, I'm just going to put it out there. I'm just going to put it out there. Evan did like 90% of the work because I was just trying to get everything to just click for me to really get into it and just like put in, but like he did a fantastic job. Like, if it was good, give him the credit. If it was bad, give me the blame. So.
Respect.
I thought
Thanks, Evan.
Respect. Straws, what do you think on this? Go ahead. Gorman, enough about you. Enough about you. Jesus. Go ahead, Straws.
I think it flowed really great. It just kind of went from like promo to I thought it was just going to be a backstage lab brawl. I love the Ghostbusters 2 ooze machine callback and turning everybody green and knocking them out. I'm like, oh, okay, they're going to walk into the ring, and then like, no, it turned it to an actual match.
I think it was well placed too. I feel like it was well placed in the card because it had a little bit of the comedy element, a little bit of the chaotic hardcore, and it came at the right time as usual.
This was a refresher. You could see this like in a real wrestling event. You know, like the wrestling purist people would be like, "Well, this is some shit," and get up and take a piss break, or
right.
you know. But then, like
for the whole show, like you want the total picture. It's important.
It's the spot that everyone remembers. It's like remember they like sprayed the Jane Cat with green shit and knocked her out.
Right. Oh man, thank God it wasn't serum. Well done. Well done, Evan. Well done, Rob. That was great shit. A great little departure, I think, and again, well placed.
Thanks. Like personally, like for me, like the whole like everything with the punks and especially Dr. Sato is just this opportunity for me to just get really, really silly because, and you know, like, and this is the kind of place where like those silly moments are obviously very much appreciated. So, you know, I know that like there's plenty of silliness to be had with, especially in a stacked tag division like this. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Up next, we had.
I think that's what's.
Oh, go ahead, Gorman, please. Gorman, please.
No, that's what I was gonna say. It was like the Atomic Punks because it's such a stacked tag division. Really, actually made themselves kind of stand apart from everyone else with, you know, the silliness and everything. I mean, because you guys did it so well. So
yeah,
thanks.
Good job.
You've got Welcome to the GC Universe. It's the return of Oscar Burns.
Yeah.
This was beautiful. This was gold.
And like, it's one of those things where I feel like you knew what was coming. We all were like, kind of like, no one in that crowd, no one reading it is like, I don't believe this guy, but I want to believe him. I want to believe you, Oscar Burns. And then he pulls the carpet underneath you and away he goes. All caps. Straws, your thoughts on the promo and the return of Oscar Burns and what it means for Defiance?
Yeah, like you said, it was anticipated. We were we kind of knew it was coming, but man, he just delivered. You know, like Oscar Burns is not Defiance; he's greater than Defiance. He'll say my name in all caps. The way he just abuses poor Darren Quimby at the end. You know, tell him I'm leaving the bloody building.
Right, in a Kiwi accent. Yeah, the accent. Oh my
just
God.
All caps all the time now. Like Burns, just I don't know. Like Burns has been a favorite character of mine, like since I came to Defiance in 2020. You know, and like one of the first feuds I noticed was like him versus Lindsey Troy because it was a very good, like to me, like natural wrestling feud of 2 out of 3 pay-per-view matches who could, you know, do it. And they just had great matches that told stories about like previous injuries being factors and shit like that. So like, you know, Oscar Burns was the most grounded, based wrestler to me. Like when I came in here, and like to see him like now coming out in the suit and everything, and just with the bombastic promo, it's just such an evolution that Seth has taken this guy on. I laughed so hard at the GC universe, like. Yeah.
And Seth does that too, where he kind of he'll take a little piece from somebody and turn it into something bigger. And I think it was a throwaway line, the GC universe, and he's running with that, and it's gonna be ridiculous. So very interesting to see where he goes. I told Seth privately, I said I almost thought I'd see him in the Butch Vic DLJ match, and he said he was considering it. I'll speak for Seth. He said he was considering it, but wanted to go this route instead. So again, Seth at work. Anybody else want to chime in on the return of Oscar? Rob, you want to kiss Seth's ass anymore tonight?
When the graphics turned into Oscar Burns all caps, I howled. I was howling like that. Brilliant, pure brilliance.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. I apologize if you're hearing loud laughter. My drunk wife and her drunk friends are in the pool, and they're still in the pool, and the sun is going down. They've been in the pool for almost 8 hours. They're like children. And, oh, geez. Oh, my God. My wife is now flipping in the pool. At some point, I might have to turn the camera so you guys can watch what's happening out here, because it's getting a little out of control. So that might be the after hours. After dark.
With this heat, I'd be in the pool for hours, too. I don't blame her one bit.
Oh, my God. Anyway. They're funny. Sorry. All right, I had to do it. I just had to let them know I saw them. I saw that. I saw that, bitches. Yeah. Please don't hurt yourself. Please don't hurt yourself. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Anyway, I apologize. Oh, God. Like, literally. Oh, hold on. Yes. Yes. No, I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch. She's going to make me watch. Oh, God. She's making me watch. Hold on. I apologize. Okay. Okay. I apologize. Anyway, we're back. I apologize. Yes, give Oscar Burns his due. He is back in Defiance. He is Defiance. He's bigger than Defiance. He is all caps, all graps. Oscar Burns. Yes. Up next.
I feel like it was very Hollywood Rock, like when the Rock came back after making the Scorpion King, and like just put everybody in their place with his new ad. Like that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah. Okay, I could see that.
Everyone was excited for the Rock. I mean, Oscar Burns wasn't that well liked, obviously, when he left, but still, he's Oscar Burns.
Iconic. Yeah. That's a great point. That's a great allusion there. Up next was Resistance. I loved all of this segment with Resin. I found myself with just a big stupid fucking smile on my face as I read it, shaking my head from time to time. I thought this was great. When Resin mentioned on Def Radio he was bringing friends to the event, I had a feeling it would be this group, perhaps not including Olvir. The Olvir was a surprise, but I did not expect the form that they would take as a group. And I thought this is ridiculous. It was Straw's way of art imitating life, or perhaps expressing his opinion through art on the direction of wrestling. And then, of course, Resin would sneeze out an alien nasal probe, of course, and he would be promptly abducted on live television, which makes sense and makes me hope that Brian's no longer reading these shows. Resin was 100% accurate on us struggling with retention. God bless you. And rest in peace, Coach. And by the way, rest in peace. Just got this. Richard Simmons passed away today. That's sad.
Oh,
Yeah. Sorry to deliver that news, but yeah,
Richard Simmons,
76. Yeah, man.
Dr. Ruth.
I found it through a freaking Simpsons shitposting Facebook group.
Oh, you never want to learn. You never want to find out that way.
Of Homer looking out at the sky from his car, like the episode where with his mom, and by the moon was a picture of the robotic Richard Simmons.
Oh, sad. Anyhow, I apologize. I want to give this segment its due. Resin is abducted. Resin was supposed to wrestle. He brought his people. Straws, I want to go right to the horse's ass here and ask you, was the Coach Billingsley match planned ahead of time? Like, was that actually lined up for Resin?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, like, I knew that Alex was, I hit him up at the beginning of the arc trying to, see, well, I know he's had, 1 or 2 matches. I don't know if he's still active or whatnot, but kind of threw him, hey, do you want a win at a pay-per-view, or do you want to build an arc or something? He kind of said he probably wouldn't be too active until into May, or I was like, all right, well, I'll just play out an arc, and basically this whole arc was just utilizing Resin to put other people over as is the character's purpose, but it was planned a little bit, and I feel at the end Alex had just kind of, fizzled out a little bit. Seth is in.
Now it's serious. Seth, you just missed us. Hey, by the way, you just missed us.
Kissing grass.
Yeah, you just missed that. So great timing.
Man.
You gotta wait
Dang
till you gotta wait till night 2 for more of that. Sorry.
Go back and review all
Okay.
the stuff.
It's all right. All good.
But go ahead.
I will
Go ahead.
wait patiently.
Yeah, go ahead, Strauss. So you had to kind of pivot away from Coach Billingsley, and I imagine within the last week or 2 or week or 3, this segment came to mind.
Yeah, there's something of a recurring trend going on now where Strasbourg doesn't have anything by the time of the pay-per-view, so he throws something together at the last minute.
And it becomes legendary.
Grousing about how we should have done the intro to Final Fantasy VIII because DEFCON was supposed to be kind of like a callback to Final Fantasy VII's intro. Or the line about we could get Scott. We'll just have him stand between some sparklers and put on a bald cap, and we'll call him Scott Bird.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just get this recurring trend of Scott Hunter, showing up at pay-per-views dressed as like really bad wrestlers that just watched the kick to the head. But yeah, I'll also say, the beginning is definitely, I guess, poking fun at the Wyatt Six, and Chris Trutt becomes kind of like my thought process in all of this. Why are the lights off? Like, why are these spooky lights all set up?
Is that blood? Yeah.
Is that blood? It's like, look, man, don't come at me when I'm holding a hot dog with a bottle of ketchup.
I thought
really stupid.
I thought it was a great way to include him in the show, though, and in a way that also you would tie to night 2. How long did you have that planned? Or did that just kind of come to you on the whim?
Well, I guess I can get more into that when we get onto that match. But
okay.
This was, obviously I wanted to introduce like a way of kind of like in-housing, I guess, a lot of my characters, because people talk about how like Ann Rotos are so great, and I'm like, yeah, I know, I just don't have time for like 3 or 4 arcs, but
true.
We can't hear them.
It's true. Seth, I'll throw it over to you. What did you think about the resin segment as I go grab a third beer? Thank you.
Where are we at? Okay, so I had notes for everything, I promise.
I'll take over. I will say this was my favorite segment of the whole pay-per-view, and it was awesome. Anything that I read that makes me think of like stuff that I like is a win. And like, the nasal probe, I thought of the Total Recall with Arnold pulling like the thing out of his mouth.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Final Fantasy VIII doesn't suck. Final Fantasy VIII actually beat before 7. That was like and it's a great game.
Yeah.
But I like the reference. There was, and then having them get abducted at the end. Oh man, I loved it. I love that shit. Like, I'm kind of an alien conspiracy guy. I'm not, whatever, I believe in it. So I just loved all that stuff, like, in there. It was great. It was funny.
I just think
none of it was out of character in a resin segment.
Nothing is out of character.
It was.
Nothing
ever.
I don't know
very
who
par for the
Old
course.
Beer is, but he's the man.
Rob, go ahead. Your thoughts on this.
Like, this is absolutely 100% on, like, it was on brand for resin, and all the credit in the world for trying to make something of an unfortunate situation with Alex. Like,
gotta work on our retention rate.
I don't care what
We do that part. Yeah.
I don't care
Shoot, brother.
Final Fantasy VIII gets a lot of undue hate. I don't care what anybody says.
It's a great game. Great game. I read that and I was like, oh, what?
Oh, man.
It's all right.
I have to bite my tongue. It is not my favorite of the series. I have to say that.
I got a thing for 9 lately.
9 is great. I've replayed 9 many times. I think I just did a replay like January this year.
All right, so again, wish it could have been a match for Resin. I have more to say on Resin later on, actually. Up next, we have the Unified Tag Match. For me, this was my match of the night. It's a triple trios ladder tag match for the Unified Tag Team Championships, the Pop Culture Phenoms, the Lucky Sevens, Mantra. This was, to me, ridiculous. I could never write a match like this for a million reasons. One of them is just the number of moves. I suck at match writing. I struggle. But this match flowed and it made sense. And like as you read it, you were with it. And it's a testament to I don't know who handled this. Again, creative match, visual match, which is what I love. So I'm just super envious of this effort. Again, I think the pop culture phenoms, I think it has to be said, are evergreen, and I love everything about that team. And but I'm also excited to see a new team get the belts. I think it feels like the right time as the tag division continues to grow and evolve. But they're never really out. Again, you had Archer and High Flyer Force seemingly join Mantra at the end. Unexpected game changer. I love how Brazen seems to be getting some love. Brazen's getting a little bit of a shine over this 2-day event, and this is just one way they did it. Whether it was, again, likely not coordinated, but it's one of those cool little organic things where you've got this now growing group. I loved the image of Michaela getting the titles. I really, to me, this is the match of the night. No slight on anybody else's effort, but I thought this was great. So I'll throw it to Rob first. Rob, your thoughts on this tag match?
Well, first things first, I love a good, just absolute clusterfuck of a match, and this one delivered in every respect. Just pure chaos from start to finish, and I also kind of feel like crowning a brand new tag team champion really kind of emphasizes just how stacked the Defiance tag division is moving forward, because it's not the same old. It's not like the holding pattern with PCP. I mean, they're all great, but just like a team that's been there for as many times and as long as they have. So just having some fresh blood at the top is really going to spark some excitement, put some bullseyes on Mantra's backs, and the very fact that Michaela, this obnoxious pain in the butt, is the one that gets them the belts.
I love that part. That ruled.
Is gold. Just like this, just such a pain in the ass, and here she is. Doing the thing and making these brand new heel champions.
It was pretty momentous. Gorman, your thoughts?
Of the Tom Morrow division.
Oh, the Tom.
Yeah, I literally. I was gonna say Tom Morrow. He is like the Bobby Heenan of tag teams.
A toast to Tom Morrow. A toast to Tom Morrow. Yeah.
Pour out them wheatgrass shots.
Oh boy!
The match itself. I mean, you said it well, Paul. For the number of characters that were in it, 9. Basically, you're halfway to a battle royal almost. And add a ladder match element to it.
The ladder match just adds a whole other just potential for pure chaos.
But I think the ladder match kind of helps you. It gives you a chance to take people out of the match for a while. Whereas in a normal tornado tag match, it's just don't let me make me write that, please. Don't ever ask me to do that.
Yeah. Well, if it was if it would have been a tornado, how would you have thought of a way to figure out how 8 other people are going to be, or
busy.
7 people are
too busy
out to get
Here's what I would do: pass it off to another match writer. That's what I do.
Oh shit! Oh man.
Yeah, that's coming from me.
And the joke's on you, Seth. You're the other match writer. You're in most situations. You're throwing the frisbee with yourself, as they say.
That's fair.
Seth, you want to weigh in on the tag match?
I do. Oh yeah. This match ruled. I'd probably say it was probably my favorite of night one, and I have to toast Billy because Billy is the best E-Fed grifter I've ever seen, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. I think this is going to be technically the third team he's been a part of that had those belts, because Flex Appeal, he had them. then PCP, and then Mantra is him and Marcus. So a toast to you, Billy, if you're when you do listen to this, you great EFED grifter, you.
Billy, I said PCP is evergreen. Billy's Discord name is Evergold.
Yes, absolutely. That's a brilliant way. Just pass it to yourself. Just find a different word.
Are you call him like the X-Pac of EFED? He's just
always lands on his feet.
Right? He finds a way.
He finds a way. Yeah. He's always in. He's always in where he's got to be. God bless him.
Oh God, I think Marcus told me it was his idea at the end of the match to have him do the wheatgrass shots and pour one out for Tom Morrow. I told him I walked away from my computer for about 5 minutes laughing after I read that. That was great. Yeah, no,
it's ridiculous.
Everything about the match flowed, and the Sevens are a great team, and I like the addition of Lonnie Luck or Lonnie Stone, Lonnie Luck now, yeah, which adds a new element for them. And like you said, they've had their time at the top. PCP, they can literally go on a 2-year losing streak, win the tag titles, and no one would bat an eye. But this was definitely with all, like you said, all the changes in the tag team division and some new blood coming along, that it feels like the right time to crown new champion. So, yeah, and I'm excited to see where these dorks go with the belt. So,
yeah, I agree. Yeah. Who else wants to weigh in on this tag team extravaganza? Anyone? Yeah,
I really liked Blay and Font, Terry Blay, joining in there at the end. That's a very nice addition, I think. I didn't expect this outcome, number one. But I loved how it finished with Michaela kind of grabbing it. I think she's probably in the running for going to be manager of the year at this point, because to come in and just elevate this team to this point.
Yeah.
Great point. Yeah.
I've seen so much of PCP versus the Lux, and then here comes Mantra. And, just to cover all the points you guys said about the match itself, it flowed really well for how much chaos you're going to have in a match like this. But, yeah, Archer, Silver, and High Flyer 4, again, Brazen getting a bit of a rub. They're not just Mantra, with Nathaniel I and Decal being former Brazen stars, but, yeah, I've got 2 more call-ups now. And yeah, just to touch on that point, the new blood kind of coming in and replacing the face. I feel like you're seeing that over multiple arcs in a way too, and that's really interesting. I think a lot of us are almost building future characters.
That's a great point.
I think the one thing that's too we keep saying they're new blood, but both those Declan and Nathaniel Ide, they've been around for
years,
at least 3-4 years.
Yeah, counting Brazen. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, so
it's like a natural evolution.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome to see. That means the Fed is world building and
it's working
more and
it's working. Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, again, I thought this is my match of the night. I'll let you guys weigh in on match of the night in a bit. We do have one match left. It's for the Southern Heritage Championship. It's no disqualification. It's Dr. Ned Reform defeating Corvo Alpha in a no disqualification match. Joe's the man is basically what I'm going to say about this. I loved his twist on the favored Saints and how he got T.A. Cole there and eventually Ned there. I thought that was really smart.
Yeah.
Because the thing about the Soher and the favored Saints kind of go together. When somebody's got one, you got to kind of deal with the other one. And so I always feel like it's sort of a puzzle you have to put together every arc of how are we going to do this in a different kind of way? How are we going to get there? How are we going to get to the pay-per-view? Which is a fun exercise, actually, to go through. Because every time it's you figure out a way to do it differently. And I do feel like this was a super unique way. It was 100% his idea. We knew we were going to work together. We wanted to do this and what the outcome would be. And we kind of kicked around ideas and he was like, what if this? And I'm like, okay, yeah, shit. My one regret is there was a segment we were going to do, but because of how the show was slotted, it didn't make sense to put it. But it would have been another segment that would have kind of added a little bit of juice and meat to the bone between Corvo and Reform specifically and personally. Even though Ned Reform had been basically running him down for months, we had this one little thing we were going to do, which we weren't able to do, which I have a little bit of a regret about. But if Joe's watching, I'm totally going to steal that and use it for somebody else later. So thank you. But yeah, I think the match, I enjoyed the match. I wrote probably about a third of it. I think he took the rest of it and ran with it. Congratulations to Joe. I'm so excited. I don't have to write a main event every 2 weeks. Can't even tell you. So excited. Your thoughts on the main event of night one? I'll give it to Strasma first. Strasma.
Oh, god damn it.
Strasma. Strasma.
Yeah. You and Joe are like fucking gold when you guys build story together, and it was a great, like good use of the no disqualification stipulation. You expect kind of there's going to be like constant interference and stuff. Like there's always good ways to protect Corvo as just the unstoppable human buzzsaw. Like in a real match, he would just rip Ned Reform limb from limb. And with all these kind of advantages that Ned has, he can, turn it against him in a way, like, hence the result and all that. I don't know why you agreed to this. Should have said no, Corvo will be the Soher for life.
That doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me, Joe. The finish doesn't work for me, brother. Yeah.
Both of these nights have such downer endings.
Mm-hmm. But if you think about it, and I think maybe it was Seth who said it to, maybe Seth and I were talking as an aside, and pretty much every other match it was babyfaces winning. And so
Yes.
Defiance, the Faithful kind of needed this little back to reality, like, hey, shit ain't so rosy. You're dealing with you're dealing with Dr. Soher now, and you need to learn to take the medicine and enjoy it. And that's
Leave
gonna
the miracle moments for DEF CON, except for the last one.
yes, yeah.
That was the anti-miracle, but
Oh, man. Any other thoughts on Corvo and Reform? I'll throw it to Rob next if you're around.
Well, other than the obvious fact now that, with the exception of the Favored Saints title, the heels have a monopoly on all the gold.
Yeah.
Like the setup for this whole feud and leading up to Reform winning the Soher was
Do me a favor, though.
brilliant.
One
And
second. Do me a
Yeah,
favor,
sure.
though. Bring the bitches down out there. No, you keep going. Bring the bitches
Okay.
down. Bring them
And
down.
just touching upon what was said earlier about
Kelly conversation?
Oh, I see. Oh, I got it.
every month, every arc. I think this was a very clever, very original way for that to be done, and also just that given the no DQ stipulation, which among other reasons, not only opens the door for all the fuckery that ensues, but also really gets to show off Reform as just like this real nasty bastard in the ring.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's one of those things that it's one of those things where if it wasn't for his pupils interfering, that this would be the kind of thing that would have probably put Reform on the slow ramp to facedom, just because of just the way that he just bleeds and just gets the dog shit knocked out of him. And just keeps going.
He wanted that Crimson Mask moment. Joe's like, the only thing I asked for in this match, other than the finish, is I want that son of a bitch to bleed. And I'm like, we can accomplish that. We can do that. I'm in that business. Corvo's in that business.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on this? So right now they're eating magic mushroom chocolate bars, and
awesome.
Yeah. No, I just had a little bit. I'm a little scared though. I just told him stop jumping.
I
in the pool.
knew that this was going to happen before. I don't know when Joel kind of ran it by me. I mean, that was a while ago. That had to be like 6-7 months ago. Because Joel likes to plan shit out to like 2030.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I remember back then when he I was like, oh, that is a super clever way to like do it. To have Ned like weasel his way into getting a shot. So the match itself, I thought you guys did really good. Like, it felt like a main event fight. You guys use, not just the ring, but you went outside into the brawling. I like how Corvo was strong, and then it looked like he was gonna, win it by like just those cheer shots at the end. That was awesome. Like, it was one of those ones where he did so many of them that I was like, oh, maybe he's gonna win. Like, knocked everybody out. No, I thought you guys did a great job.
No, I was
100%. Yeah,
I was excited about it. I will say that Corvo even getting the Soher was like by happenstance, and Strasma can attest. I think Strasma was in line to get the Soher from Keys, and you had stuff going on, had to step away. That's the only reason Corvo was in there, and I was a little bit reticent at first, like, shit, I just turned him babyface. Does a belt make sense? But I took it like as a little bit of a challenge to kind of do something with it, and I hope that I accomplished that. Because again, taking over after Keys' reign was a little bit of a shit. I got to follow that, So
hashtag new record.
Hashtag new record. Hashtag new cocoon. That's what he needs. Hashtag new cocoon.
Right. Yes.
New steampunk cocoon. But I think I appreciate the opportunity. I think I'm happy with how it all kind of works out, and kind of where the next step goes. So yeah, I'm stoked. What's your guys' match of the night? I've kind of weighed in. I think Seth kind of chimed in. Thoughts on match of the night here? Is it the tag match for everybody around?
Yeah.
Ladder match, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a tie. I think the last two tied because I'm a big Ned Reform fan. So to see him win the belt, full master plan come through, I thought storytelling wise was really cool. But otherwise, like match wise though, that ladder match was that was just the effort to write that.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? Any other thoughts on night one before we move on to night two?
Oh my God! There's another night of this.
Oh yeah, about that, Straws.
I literally put that. So I wrote notes that I'm gonna post as my feedback after, like, probably at the end of the weekend. But I even have that. Wait, Ned, Mantra, Malik, all hold titles right now. I'm out. Wait, shit, we have another night of this.
Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah. One more.
Damn it.
Oh my
Whose
God.
idea was that?
Oh my God. What I'm curious about coming out of this match, I think my biggest curiosity coming out of night one is, will Ned keep the pink leather strap, or will he take this opportunity to upgrade the Soher and reinvent it in his own image?
That would be cool. Immediately I thought, he's going to turn it purple or something.
I thought the same thing. Purple.
Yeah.
I feel like you should
That would
make
be
it
sick.
into like a doctorate plaque.
like
you see
a-
it.
yeah.
Yes.
Like a PhD?
Yes.
Interesting.
Like,
The
yeah,
SOH.
like an actual diploma.
All right, let's move on
I
to
love
night.
that idea.
Let's move on to night two, gentlemen. It started with Rain City Ronin versus Vey Victus. I loved this match as an opener. I thought the writing was chef's kiss all around. Felt
Agreed.
very much like a vets versus up and comers opportunity type match. You had, again, the Resin. I popped hard for Resin finishing his sentence that he started on night one and landing on Vey Victus in the middle of the ring.
Right.
And again, I just
That
want to
was
say,
terrific.
I hope Brian's not reading these shows anymore. And again, if this is the end of the Vey Victus story in this grouping, with Brush stepping aside, Oscar Burns didn't mention Vey Victus in his all caps return, I don't think. Then that was a bravo to them as a group. They had a 2.5 year, I think, run. Great story told. This sort of did feel like a little bit of a bookend, and Straws, I think, or the writers notated that towards the end of, it seems like Resin finally got his measure of revenge against this team that's basically been hassling him for years, the entire time, uninterrupted. So I thought this was great. Huge win for Rain City Ronin. This should, you would think, shoot them up in the proverbial figurative rankings. Before we go around the room for opinions, I'll go first to Strasma, who can chime in with the creative input and your thoughts and what went into this match and what went into the angle in general and what you're doing with the Ronin.
Creative input. My thoughts on this match.
Yep. And your
thoughts on the angle in general.
Yep.
Well, so I had this week, all right, and it was about 55 hours at work with no AC, and I had 4 things to do, 2 for this show and 2 over in Prime, and just
fucking
not
time.
a whole lot of time to do it, and was very much felt under the knife for most of the writing I did on this and the Resin segment, even though I was mistakenly writing this a week ago. Because I thought that
I've done that too.
That MAXDEF happened a week ago. It then had a 3-page head start, and even then it still came in last minute. And I just said, fuck it. I don't even know the moves anymore. Pick them up, rolling, guillotine, whatever. Cool. But no, that last segment on night 1 started because of this match, because about halfway through the arc, Linz and Ben reached out and said, "Hey, we're gonna be pulling the plug on our end. What do you want to do to put Rain City Ronin over?" And I said, "Yeah, Resin just falls out of the sky and lands on top of them or something." And they're like, "Okay, how do I get him in the sky?" Well, I guess okay. He gets abducted by aliens. Oh shit. Cool, I could pay that. I forgot about that. So that worked out,
Yes.
So it was very by the seat of my pants, I feel, with this match. Everybody seemed to like it. That's cool. I blacked out after I wrote this and don't remember how it went, what happened in it. Oh, yeah. You ever have one of those matches where you outline the whole thing, and then you start writing by the outline. You you realize, oh shit, I'm 5 pages in. I've just gotten past A.
Right.
Happens more often than I would like to admit.
I really have to work. I need to work on just every time I want to do something simple and quick. It's just gonna be a 3-page, Resin promo with him and his gangly hookers, and then oh goddamn, this is 9 pages now. How the hell did this happen? So I'm realizing fuck it. This is a pay-per-view. We can't just have matches if everyone's trying to have a match in the night. 10 pages, good. Get the point across, get in, get out, and open a show. And I'm digging on Zach and Leo lately. I feel like they're almost my mains at this point. Being in the stacked tag division and all of that. Again, former Brazen tag champs coming up and making their place on the main roster. Do I have to talk anymore?
No, I think that was good. I think that was great. That was your best work. That might be a record. But I think your point is super valid, especially tying it back to that whole theme of that natural progression of Brazen talent growing in Defiance. Again, another great example. Rob, your thoughts on the night 2 opener?
Well, of course, another hot opener with 4 of the upper tier of workers, as it were, and of course that Resin's finish. But what really tickled me about that Resin finish was on night 1, Resin's getting abducted, and it's Shia! As he disappears, and then as he comes back,
Amazing.
Just almost was he just screaming that entire period of time?
Did time cease? Did time cease for him?
Yes,
Right.
did time stop for him?
It was like was that Doctor Strange that sent Loki into the portal?
Well,
Yes, yeah,
I've been falling for the last 30 minutes.
yeah.
Wait, I missed that. What was that?
Oh, in one of the Marvel movies, Doctor Strange like portals Loki, just sends him away. Then he calls him back.
And he keeps falling through the same portal over and over again.
Yeah.
Like I'll be honest with you, like that whole bit of just like him reappearing and just like did time freeze like that? Like that, like I saw that and the first thing I thought was, okay, I gotta get the Pugs involved in this somehow. I gotta get Dr. Sato involved in this somehow. Somehow, damn it.
Yeah. No. Gorman, you want to chime in on the opener for night 2? Excuse me.
I thought it was, I mean, match wise, it was a solid match. I thought Rain City Ronin really, I think they kind of came out, and especially against Dave Victus, LT, and Keys. I mean, that's some pretty heavy hitters. So to get a team over and really establish them, I mean, that's how you do it. And I think
it's impressive. I think it's impressive that Lindsay Troy, the character, agreed to lose this match and agreed to lose in the curtain jerker. Okay, that's impressive. Continue.
And involved aliens.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yes, and have teleportation. She's comfortable with that. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, and I think I mean, it was a great opener too because it was hot, but it wasn't like the night 1 where it was just just a great 2 heavy hitters. Dex Joy. It was just because of what it was and having resin there, like the big reveal to end the first match and stuff. I mean, it was a great match. I'm very excited. I'm kind of curious what's going to happen with Dave Victus now, though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, it kind of feels like a closing.
Before we move on from this, I just want to say, Deus Ex Strachina.
Oh.
Fucking
Juice
hell.
X Strachina.
Okay, I'll allow
Beautiful.
that.
Well
I'll allow
done.
that.
Well done.
I'll allow that. Seth, your thoughts on the opener for night 1?
I think, pretty much like what everybody else said, very, very solid opener. This definitely set a great tone for the rest of the show. I love that in an opening match. Like everybody said, oh my god, the resin abduction from night 1 leading to what happened night 2 was amazing. I cackled pretty hard at that. That was great.
Just more resin antics. More resin antics.
And I'm so proud of our Rain City Ronin brazen babies growing up before our very eyes.
It's growing up so fast.
Too fast.
It has been really cool seeing their maturation, Strauss. I think you've really hit a great stride with them. I still love the bits where instead of dialogue, it's just whatever they're emoting at the moment. I love that.
You got to have tell me you have a thesaurus at your side for all those.
Yes.
There is a process in my writing where I'm trying to think okay, I already used that word 5 lines up. How do I repeat it? But what's a synonym for aggressive? Bombastic or something. I find all these words here oh shit. I mean, I'm cheating obviously, but hey,
that's America.
It works, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how did I love that name, Rain City Ronin? Sounds, I don't know, for some reason it sounds like a gang in Cyberpunk. You know,
It does.
I mean? Very cool.
When I first came to Defiance in 2015, that was the team name of Rocco Damon and Kerry Kuriyama. And then I flaked. But, so that was kind of a reinvention of that. But, I don't.
No, it's a very.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a sweet name.
Yeah. As a kind of close to Seattleite, I love that. So, represent.
Go Hawks. Up next, we had. I'm going to combine these next 2 segments together. It's the Resistance Movement. And I have to be honest, I saw the word resistance and then movement, and I thought it was a segment where Resin had shit himself. But no. We were spared that. It's the Blood Diamonds. I love the fucking Blood Diamonds. Evan is a machine, and this I love. I love his writing, and I love anything he does. I thought this was great. Angus is wonderful. I feel like he's really comfortable writing that character. Found that voice. I thought it was kind of clever. I have in my notes here. Angus referred to how it was pandering to the crowd to cut a promo in Spanish, which I thought was really funny, whether it was intentional or not. The earlier night one, the Dirty Dogs cut a promo in Spanish and beat the Blood Diamonds, and now he's like, yeah, you're a little scumbag if you do that, which I thought was clever. Whether it was intentional or not, I thought that was great.
That was a great backhand kind of.
Yeah.
That's how I took that. That
just
was
a ridiculously well-written introduction for Box. Like, go back and read that again. Go back and read. It's just fucking great. Bronson Box comes out, cuts another great promo, calls out people who haven't been there yet, is essentially what he's saying. And out come the Gulf Coast connection. Gulf Coast connection. Love that fucking team. Crescent City Kid is a favorite of mine. This was a fabulous, fun little vehicle. I feel like to launch Dabney Doubleday into the a larger stage, and also feature some Brazen guys in a big way. So I thought this was great. Again, kind of feels like to me similar to that Atomic Punk's Blood Diamond match on night one. This was like a fun little something different for the pay-per-view. Not as straight ahead. Yeah, I thought this was interesting. I'll throw it to Seth on your thoughts on this promo and the Blood Diamonds Gulf Coast Connection match.
Yeah, I absolutely love what Evan's doing right now with like kind of the reinvented Blood Diamonds. Like I was kind of years ago, I think when the original Blood Diamonds were there, I was there for like the very tail end of that. So like kind of seeing a group with some lore in Defiance history come back to life, I think that's pretty sick in of itself. And then, the Angus promo was great. I laughed at that bit with him talking about, people you pander, you cut a promo in Spanish. Like that was a great little shot. It was cool to actually see like Gulf Coast Connection get some shine and kind of stand their ground. They've probably my favorite of the NPCs to write because it's such a simple act that you could see getting over on TV. This trio where it's like a never-ending Mardi Gras party.
Absolutely.
But I absolutely, like you said, he Evan's been really excited to kind of get Dabney Doubleday off the ground. I saw he showed me a bio of the character. Super solid. Looks like a great character with a lot of babyface potential, and then kind of seeing him mix it up with Box and crew is really cool. I'm really curious where this angle is going to go when we get to the point. I have to presume at some point Gage Blackwood's going to come back for kind of his pound of flesh. If like you get a Gage Dabney partnership out of it against the Diamonds,
Right.
Like there's a lot of good directions, and then I'm in on some plans that are going on with the group. I'm all for it. I'm excited.
Tell us everything, Seth. Tell us everything. Tell us everything.
Right. I'm excited to see where kind of their development's going to go. So I really like this segment.
Yeah, I thought this was a lot of fun. Strasma, I'll check in with you on this match. I know you haven't had a chance to fully absorb all of night two. Hopefully you had a chance to check this out. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, great promo by first having Angus back is he really just fits those shoes so well. Like Angus is just a heat magnet, and I really like what Evan is doing. I guess I didn't even know that Blood Money was an old stable, so I really like this kind of like callback to old school Defiance in a way. Like Evan being like, is he probably the person who's been in Defiant, or well, I wouldn't say cumulatively the longest, or just like back as far back when, but
Rob's got some time. Rob's got some time.
Yeah, I prefer a spell myself.
The story of just getting Brazen involved, like this, like them coming out and this like scrap kind of happening, and Dabney Day, I could say like for the past year I've been reading Evan's role plays over in the other place, and I'm really excited for this character.
Oh, is he over there? I had no idea.
Yes,
This
that's
character?
where,
Oh, that's great.
that's where he, I think, really kind of sharpened his knives with this character. Like, it's really well developed, and Dabney and Dougie are like, Dougie's just, everyone makes fun of the hair, but like, he's just great. Just two wholesome, good old boys. Like, hey, I'm just here to have a nice, fair fight. Like it's that really kind of like aw shucks kind of attitude. I think I really like seeing Dabney in this spot. I think he's going to be cultivated pretty well.
Rob, your thoughts on the angle and the short tag match?
Hey, what's old is new. The Blood Diamonds that ran roughshod over Defiance years ago are about to start running roughshod all over again. It's a welcome throwback, and of course, as has already been said, I quite enjoyed how it set the pace for the Dabney Doubleday for him to make his first impression, and and it's one of the. Hang on, I had something here that stood out to me that I wanted to that I wanted to bring up, like just the talk of just like all the talk about how they're taking Defiance back to the old days, and just the way that they are going right into raising hell. Of course, Box's spike is, just a little sign of, oh yeah, that's they're trying to bring this back to bloody roots. But I will also say that Angus saying, "Did that little penis kid steal Boxy's baby?" had me howling.
That was great.
That was a very on brand for Angus, and
yes.
After years of writing Lance as the color commentator,
it's really nice to cut loose. Yeah.
For a couple seconds, I really did feel like I ended up back in 2016 again.
I feel like Evans brought Bronson Box back because Bronson Box won't rest until he's put everybody over, including it looks like Bronson is excited to put over the entire Brazen roster. God bless Evan. I'm excited to see what he's got planned. Gorman, your thoughts on this tag match and the angle?
I had two things written down was Angus is the man and penis. So because I was speed reading, so the penis kid line was amazing. I think Angus, I mean, how he was written and how it came off. I mean, that's such a well written character, and he really that's some awesome heel work for a manager. I like the whole segment in itself, where it kind of fit with the theme of the show so far, where it was kind of the younger guys, the Brazen guys who spent their time in Brazen, finally getting over and really making some progress, and then you had the these old hands come back and kind of lay down the law, but then Brazen rises up. It's a very intriguing setup for a lot of different things that happen. Yeah, a lot of different things that happen. I think it was a great segment.
Yeah, it was fun. Up next, we had a singles match. It's the Ace of Defiance, Tyler Fuse, taking on Mr. Flips-A-Lot himself, Sir Flips-A-Lot, Milv Weltis. This is that no-nonsense Tyler Fuse versus flippy, high, flashy, in-your-face Mil. I love Tyler ducking out of this match early and just making it difficult and kind of dictating the pace. I thought that was really brilliant. Again, great written match. Man, you put Seth and Roland together to write a match. That is a dangerous combination. And Tyler has emerged for me as my favorite Fuse brother. And if you had asked me 3 years ago when I first came back to Defiance if I thought Tyler would ever be my favorite, I'd be like, no, it's Connor. But Tyler's kind of emerged and taken that spot for me. I love the ref bump in this match, how that was done, Tyler's reaction. I enjoyed this, and then it just becomes what's next for these two for me. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'll throw it over, I guess, first to Strasma and his thoughts on Mill and Tyler. Those
Seth,
two characters.
How much of Roland is in this writing?
All of it. It literally was him. Yeah.
See, here's the thing I've noticed about Roland and how he writes Tyler Fuse is how very minimalist everything is. Like I'm reading through, there's so many single lines through this. His pinfalls are ending with periods. And it's that it just represents Tyler so well. It's just like no nonsense, and it's like reading so much of Roland's work. Either as like through Connor or like Jonathan Christopher Hall or something where he could just really crank so much personality into it, and then Tyler has this almost like brutalist, like one-dimensional kind of approach to everything. Like, I felt that was emphasized really well. There's very few exclamation points in this one, and
I agree. Actually, I wrote down Dean Malenko in my notes. I was like, if you had to read the transcript of a Dean Malenko match, it would be Tyler Fuse. Just like, but it works, and I like that for Tyler Fuse. I like it's a good. It fits his character, and like, you're right. Like how the writing is. I just wrote Dean Malenko down. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Seth, you want to chime in?
Yeah, first things first, I'll give Roland all the credit. He took the match kind of last minute. I was working on some other stuff, so since I had too many hands and too many cookie jars, as I am wont to do when pay-per-view time comes around, he was nice enough to take the match. We knew kind of what the plan was going over. Tyler's the ace. It makes, I'll kind of pull back the curtain just a little bit. It makes even if it's my character, it makes zero sense for the ace to lose this match. I thought the only thing I wanted coming out of it was just if Mill looks like looks like an attempted world beater. Roland gave me all I asked and more out of the match. There was like the phantom pinfall finish towards the end, which after the ref bumps, that was kind of neat. I'd have been fine even if he hadn't have added that, but I appreciate it. Like this was very much like a Dean Malenko, Rey Mysterio like pay-per-view quality match. Yeah, it ruled. I loved it. He did great work. I changed probably nothing. I'm trying to remember. I think I maybe added a little bit to Mill's entrance itself, but like I said, Roland's a mensch. He took it. He killed this match, and Tyler gets the deserved win. Tyler's right in the elevator at the top, and poor Mill gets the shaft. So.
Hey! Well done. Rob, your thoughts on this contest?
I mean, I don't really have anything to add to this that hasn't already been mentioned. Just, I am just noticing now what Straws had said about that very blunt, minimalist style with which Tyler Fuse is written. And which, honestly, considering that I kind of thought that, I had kind of thought that when the fuses had broken up that Tyler would kind of fall by the wayside because, Connor being Connor. So color me pleasantly surprised to see him on this run as the ace of Defiance and just pulling off that, just like this almost brutalist, minimalist kind of heel work so well.
Yeah, no, I thought it was, again, just impressive to see Tyler's Fuse's growth, I'd say. Great match, great storytelling. That's a note I have, is just great storytelling.
Yeah, I wrote great in-ring storytelling. That's what I had too.
Yep.
And that Spanish fly ref spot, that was really clever. I thought that was a cool, like, realistic ref bump that I've never
Yeah.
I would never have thought of that.
Yeah, that was great.
Smart. Up next, we have it's Mask versus Mask. It's MV1, JJ Dixon. This was a hard-fought match. Again, MV1, the lone soldier, trying to make everything work, trying to do it all, versus JJ Dixon, the maniacal man. Greg is a joy to create with. He kind of went through with this arc. Super happy we were able to land the plane together and make this happen. He took really the I think at least the last third of the match. Took this home in a great way. I thought this was awesome. And then we had the post angle. So the post match angle, again, this is another little leap of faith of mine. We have JJ won, so MV1 has to give up his mask, but Melton gives him a bargain, offers a bargain. You can join the Gems, or you can give up your mask. And MV1 does not comply, so JJ goes to take off the mask. He's about to do it. Out comes Corvo Alpha to make the save on his former partner. The crowd eats it up. Alpha chases off the Gems, essentially, beats the shit out of them, and then MV1 kicks him in the face. and we're a little too late. Too little too late, essentially. It was kind of where you'll see. So MV1 actually leaves with the Gems, and there's a lot of questions on what this is about. There's a lot of questions. But I'm excited about this, actually. Thoughts on this angle, thoughts on this match? I'll throw it to Seth first.
Yeah, I was like, that ruled. Like, I love how the match jump started because, there's a lot of history already between MV1 and Dixon from, like, their prior Iron Man match, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously it's been a very heated feud. But yeah, it was pretty... No, it was a great match just watching these two just beat the shit out of each other. And you could imagine, I feel like the writing did a great job at kind of helping you like visualize every move that was happening. That's for me the sign of like a really good match when you can kind of picture it all in your head as it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
The German superplex spot, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, Greg again, all Greg. Yeah, he killed that.
Yeah, I have to say, I think I actually had a jaw drop. So I do believe that I might have been aware about what was happening to
you and I had talked about you and one other person. I think I had also mentioned it to Joe as an aside, as it was kind of forming the idea. I said at some point I might do this, and I was trying to get feelers on it. Yeah,
and I was like, yeah, I love it because it was when it happened. As I'm reading it, I'm like, oh, he's pulling the trigger. Oh shit, he did not pull the trigger.
Right.
Like the moment caught me. It was very well done. So
cool.
I'm really curious where things are going to go because I'm like the MV1's such a great true blue baby face, but I could absolutely, if the turn is because too little, too late, he's almost justified in a way because he spent how many years chasing this, his best friend, trying to get him back to his side, and now by the time he finally seems like we're there, we're not. So I'm really curious. Like, it was very well done. The post match was phenomenal. So I really look forward to kind of how the Corvo MV1 and the Gem story plays out from here. There's a lot of ways it can go, and I'm pretty stoked to see any one of them. You guys would stick the landing on, I'm sure. So I'm curious to see what's next. So,
yeah, we're Greg and I are we're pretty excited for where we're going. I'll throw it to Straws. Straws, your thoughts on this match and this angle?
Many moons ago, my heart was broken in this hobby of ours.
Oh, Cyrus
There was
Blackshear.
a story
Damn it.
of a man battling a malignant brain tumor, fighting his way to the world championship, and then when he finally won it, he dropped dead in the ring. I said, "Oh my God!"
I'm sorry.
That was a real story.
Son of a bitch.
I did that.
Like he won the belt and he died in
Right
the
there.
ring.
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I did that. Yeah. I did that.
So
I'm sorry, Strauss.
This was right up there with that for me, in just terms of like heightening the drama. First, there's the shenanigans win, and then there, the fighting of getting the mask off, and Corvo comes out, and you're like, fuck yeah. Then you're like, Mask Violators reunion, fuck yeah, and then like super kick. You're like, what the fuck? And then just walking out with the gems, like, yeah, I don't know, like the turn was so well timed. Anyway, yeah, great match. There were moves and stuff. And,
There was moves. I didn't have to write many of them. Thank God. Greg writes great moves. I can't do moves. I do emotion. I'm the emotion guy. I'm the moment guy.
Yeah.
Let me write the moment.
You guys built a great story out of this, though. I just, yeah.
Oh, I appreciate
can't,
that.
Speak any more praise of it. Yeah.
I'll throw it to Rob. Rob, lick my asshole.
What?
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Tell me about this match and your thoughts on this contest.
Well, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Just just the kind of hellish affair that a good Apuestas match is. It's got that hate, and of course, like I was actually kind of surprised that Dixon won, but I was even
I think
more
a lot.
surprised.
I think a lot of people were on the predictions. I think a lot of people picked MV1, so I was excited when I saw that. I'm like, ooh, we're gonna get.
I was
people.
even more surprised by.
I love it when that
post
happens.
match. Like that genuinely knocked me for a loop. Just seeing him turn on MV2 like that, especially after the long storylines between Corvo and MV1. And I mean, shoot, just all the whole that whole feud that they had before, and just seeing it just basically get reignited, I guess. Just amazing.
That's how it feels.
Really, really, really good stuff.
No, I appreciate that. Gorman, your turn, buddy. You're up. Tell me about this match. Let's get past this awkward moment for me.
I have written notes. I got it written in all caps for this drama.
Oh,
You guys
listen,
killed it.
we reserve all caps for Oscar Burns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, this was probably my favorite. I'm not gonna lie, probably my favorite match to read of the whole night one or night two. I thought it was incredibly well written, and everything in every sequence had a lot of drama in it, and you everyone said you could feel when you read it, you could tell there's just so much hate, and then the end, the end sequence with Terry or with Melton, who's basically sensational Sherry.
Yes.
And
yes.
It's it was great, man. You guys
the other night, Greg described Terry Melton as a cross between sensational Sherry and woman, and I was like, yes,
yeah,
that's 100%. Yeah, I can see that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
she'll get physical. Yeah. She's classy. She can cut a promo.
Yeah, bumps like that. The bumps that she took in the match too were they were crazy bumps, but because it was her and how it was written and built up, they were popped reading it. It was great.
That was good shit. All right, cool. All right, well, thanks, guys. That was awkward for me. Let's move on to somebody else. Let's talk about somebody else. Let's talk about Seth's characters. Let's make Seth feel uncomfortable for the next 6 minutes. It's the Hollywood Bruvs teaming up with Scott Douglas. I have a lot to say about this. Taking on Titanus Familia. Just teaming up Mikey Unlikely with Scott Douglas is a mind fuck. Making it work is fun. I was really hoping that either Mikey or Brian would be on here to talk about just the segments from the last show and how much fun they must have had putting that together on the last Def TV. Where Scott Douglas was learning how to be a bruv, essentially. I want to talk about that. We'll save that for a different program. Titanus Familia, my notes in here, I have a couple things. Mikey twirling his mustache on the way out is such a fucking cool move. I thought that was genius. It's the little dumb character things for me, and I thought that was fucking great. He's up to something. I thought that was nice. Still a little surreal to have Scott Douglas back. Still a little surreal, very surreal to see him teamed up with Mikey Unlikely. This is a different Defiance, folks. I love this hobby. Evil Uriel Cortez can be a top Defiance guy. I have that written in all caps, okay? I love a well-done ref missed the tag spot. that was in the middle of it, where finally the tag happens, but the ref spins around. I didn't see that. I love that shit when it's done right. It was the right moment for it. It was wonderful. It builds to this double tag to Killjoy and Kendricks. Feel good finish. You gotta love that. But it also feels like business is not settled here between specifically Douglas and Cortez. I want to throw to Seth first on the creative aspect of this, putting this together. How long have you guys? How long did you know this was where you were going to go after Douglas's return? And was it right away? Did it just kind of come apart? Tell me about how this whole story came together and the match itself.
Okay, so I believe the original story we were going to do was Mikey was looking for a partner, so I think it was going to be Hollywood Brubs versus it would have been Titanus and Killjoy as a team. And then Brian had the idea where, he was kind of looking for an idea for Scott Douglas, and I'm like, well, wait, okay, there's 3 Titans, Brubs plus Douglas. Okay, let me pitch this idea to you. And I'm like, okay, what if the Familia were going after the Brubs, and then of all people, fucking Scott Douglas, who got retired by Mikey, unlikely, ends up being the guy to help bail them out of the situation. And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait. Like, I picture, how I think it was by the 3rd show of the arc, I think was when they came together at last. Like, that's what I was building up to, and I was like, oh, I hope that hits. I hope that hits. Like, that's going to be a big damn moment, I feel like. So I almost built up just for that alone. Like, when we pulled off that segment, I'm like, oh my God, this is so awesome.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, and so I think it was just shortly after the DEF CON arc, so when we were putting this together. This arc was a blast for me to be able to work with Mikey, Brian, and Stevie. Like, any stupid idea I had, hey, I really want to try and make the Titans, they're newer heels, so I want to try and keep them, somewhat strong. But I didn't mind them showing ass at the end of the arc. I mean, it's good. It's a big moment for the good guys to come together. They should get the Duke in that moment, I think. But yeah, they were down with any idea I had. I had the idea, hey, what could Killjoy go over Kendricks? Kind of put him over as a big he's a former Brazen guy, pattern here. They were amenable to that. The Titania's Familia, I think the favorite thing I wrote this arc was them breaking into Mikey's studio and doing commentary over that match was a lot of fun. The segments with them teaching Douglas how to be a bruv fucking had me giggling. There's no glue in the fist. There's no actual glue. I think that line
yeah, something tells me that's like one of those lines that like I believe the writer had locked in their head. They wanted to use this line. I wanted to have this moment for a long time. Like, yeah, everybody's got those. Like yeah, it was great.
So well.
It's like a line that you build a whole segment around.
Yeah. It popped me. It was great. And yeah, I had a blast with the match. Everybody contributed to it, and I was really proud of the end product of it. It was really cool, especially in the little moment where like Uriel's trying to talk Douglas. Hey, this is the guy that tried to retire you. Why the hell are you helping them? That's been kind of actually fun to play Uriel as a heel. I've taken some elements of like current Drew McIntyre where it's like, he's almost justified in why he's turning and trying to be, he's right, but he's a giant asshole all the same.
No, I think mission accomplished. Mission accomplished there, man. Yeah. That was great. Rob, your thoughts on this match?
Well, for one thing, just the way that Scott Douglas just makes good with Mikey so quickly. Well, not so quickly, but just it's kind of one of those old school wrestling stipulations where if you lose a career match and you're basically out of the company, it basically falls down to the guy who beat you to waive that and let you back in. I always kind of thought that was a pretty underrated angle, an underrated storyline. It reminds me of in '90 when '92 when Randy Savage was forced to retire because he lost to the Ultimate Warrior and he was trying to get reinstated. And I think they had actually tried to appeal to Warrior to waive the stipulation of that match. But, like, I'll be honest, I really was just expecting, like, some kind of shenanigans from the Brubs or from Scott
A turn,
Douglas, just
right, right.
Yeah, I was honestly expecting some kind of shenanigans, like either the Brubs turning on them because, you know, just based on their long history of being heels, or Douglas turning just on the count of like a long period of like, you know, just resentment bubbling to the surface and just you know, that's his chance to strike. But like, yeah, but no, it worked really well, and it was like it really did hammer the point that, oh wow, yeah, these guys actually are like pals for real. Like this is an actual, this is actually going to be a thing moving forward. You know, and you know, Titanis Familia looked good in defeat, while also just looking like the most meanest, bulliest sons of bitches, and I'm really interested to see what goes on moving forward with both sides.
Yeah, like what's next for Scott Douglas? It's probably Cortez. I feel like it's Cortez. Straws, your thoughts on this? Your thoughts on this match, this angle? Scott Douglas in general. Does he smell like nuts? Let's talk about it.
I don't have that much to add. Yeah, I love Scott Douglas being back and with the Brubs. Yeah, that's just a great kind of makes me think of like Raven and Tommy Dreamer when they like teamed up at the latter end of like ECW or something, like, you know.
Oh yeah, good call.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Reformed Rivals or something like that, and you know, again, being there for their whole rivalry, that was it's pretty cool to see come together, and I'm really digging on like heel Titanes, like for real, just finally getting to the point where it's just like, man, I fucking know what I'm worth. Like, what the fuck am I doing here? You know, like, yeah,
that's
great
good shit.
match, great build up to this, and it was a good guys win. You know,
right? Feel good moment.
Yeah, you didn't. I know you might have expected Mikey turning on Scott or something like that, and no, you didn't get that. They came together. They beat the big bad, and yeah, you know, Mikey and Uriel could be what's next, I feel.
Right. Gorman, did you chime in on this? Oh wait, are you muted? Oh shit, did you mute yourself?
All right, I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
No, I didn't, but I mean, I kind of agree with everyone else, and I either thought that I guess if you had asked before I read it, I would have bet that there would have been a turn. I thought either Mikey or Scott was going to turn on each other, or I thought that Titanus Familia was going to win to like kick off a longer feud. So I was wrong on both counts.
Well, you might get the longer feud. You might get the longer feud.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, we're going to get the longer feud, but I thought the match, yeah, it was well written. I think Mikey did the not getting that hot tag. Like, I kind of read Mikey unlikely like I would read like HBK on his like second run. You know, like he's really good at like he sells like really well and is well written like that. Like, no, it was a great match, and I'm kind of interested to see what happens with Uriel and Douglas. So
yeah, that's your cue to scratch your chin again, Seth. All
right.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Is it time? I think it's time. It's time for the main event. Guys, we've made it. We made it to night 2's main event for the Fist of Defiance. It's Malik Garland, Brock New Dad. This I'm pretty sure when I first read this, I'm pretty sure I laughed out loud when I saw that the ring was in a bag that said engagement ring on it.
yeah,
It's the most
little Malik and
It's so
Little
fucking
Malik
ludicrous.
These are the fucking best.
It's
yeah.
so fucking ludicrous. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Oh my god. This is how you know Brian's not reading any shows. This is how you know, factually.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. All right.
me.
Oh my god. I love how the Weasley champ stacks the deck against, the action hero, which, let's talk about it. That's who Brock. That should be his new like tagline, the action hero. That implication of interference having the entourage at ringside was great. Again, I love this. Mark Shields to the mix. Jesus Christ, he never stood a chance.
Yeah.
He never stood a chance.
When I saw, I remember during the rundown that it was Mark Shields graphic. I was like, oh,
I'm fucked.
yeah. Well, I was excited. I was like, oh, we can really get away with some stuff here. A lot of freedom.
So you've got again, great match. I loved Cyrus Bates's dance, his entrancing dance on Mark Shields. I thought that was great. Again, I wrote here, I hope Brian still isn't still reading these shows. Cassidy showed up at just the right time. Great spots. Ex-girlfriend might be my line of the night. But that would only be up against, let's see if you're as flexible as your mom. That's my line of the night, is that line. Let's see if you're as flexible as your mom. That's great.
Oh, God.
Again, so Malik Garland is victorious here. But certainly I do feel like this was to give Brock Newblood a single spotlight here. And clearly he delivered. He certainly held up his end of the bargain. This feels like an elevating coming out party for Brock Newblood for me. I'm going to throw it to Gorman first to kind of talk to me about how did this pairing come together. What's your favorite moment of this feud? All that fun stuff. Go ahead and take us through what you want to say.
Really it kind of came about. So I had taken that break last year. And then when I came back, I guess it would have been, like around January or December, Ross had messaged me and he had laid out this kind of whole thing with wrestling Brock. And so I kind of felt that he was going to win at DEF CON, but he kind of laid this all out and it was so ridiculous and right up my alley because I like doing just kind of, the ex-girlfriend and, how, MV1 and JJ, the drama.
Yep.
Well, I just read it. I was like, yeah, of course I do this. This sounds great. And I like that he kept Siobhan Cassidy around long enough to, actually use her in a story. So, really, I kind of went into this match. I was admittedly nervous because Brock had only just been in a tag team, the whole time in Defiance. So, I just wanted him to at least get established a little bit, but I really wanted Malik, knowing the outcome, I just wanted him to I wanted Malik to look really good for this wedding. It's just such a, some of my favorite, storylines as a kid were with, Macho Man, where, he got bit by the snake and had to, come out of the commentary booth and, or, him and Elizabeth. So this, just fits so well with, the storylines that I like that. It was a lot of fun to write. Ross is a blast to write with because you can feel like you can put the most weirdest ideas at him, and generally
chances are you won't have the craziest idea when you're working with Ross. Is my impression.
Yeah, 100%.
That feels right.
So I knew that, and that's kind of why I did that over the top thing and everything. I wanted to kind of establish him away a little bit from SNS, but not all the way. So, it was actually one of the funnest arcs I've ever written, for sure.
Nice. And it looks like it's not over yet because it kind of ends with that. Now you've got the post match is save the date. You've got Brock is the officiant, I'm pretty sure, and Cassidy is the best man. Okay, all right, okay. I can see them going along with that. I can totally see them going along with that without there being any problem. This is going to go just fine.
Yeah. Swimmingly,
yes.
Well, we get to yeah. I mean, I guess it's like something you can knock off the bucket list. Like you get to write a wrestling wedding. You know, like or like so. Yeah, I mean, Brock's. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for what's coming up. I guess.
That's awesome. Seth, since you threw a fist up for having knocked off the wrestling bucket list of writing a wrestling wedding, I'll throw it over to you first. What did you think about this Night 2 main event? And Malik Garland, we're stuck with him, guys. This is a problem.
I know. Oh my God, we have like the most insufferable champions of all time between
Seriously.
Malik Garland, Dr. Ned Reform, Mantra. We are boned.
Yeah.
We need like the best, and here right here, we need like the best babyface ever to get at least the favored Saints, can't we? Maybe it's Butch Vick again.
Something.
Yeah.
Anyhow, continue.
Anyhow, yeah. So no, the match ruled, and I think it completely stuck the landing as far as like establishing Brock. Like at no point in this feud did I ever feel like Brock felt out of place, like at the main event level. It helps that SNS was a main event level tag team, so you know, for me that gives them a lot of credence at that level immediately. It was
I gotta, Seth, I have to interrupt you. Strasmo, are you drinking a Sam Adams Summer Ale?
Yes, I'm drinking a Sam Adams Summer.
Let's tip it, brother. Come on, man. Come
Well
on, man.
done.
Come on,
Well
man.
done.
Yeah,
Nice.
there it is. Thank you. Okay.
Well done.
Oh, that'll work. All right,
But
thank
yeah,
you. Yeah.
But yeah, it did a great job of like putting Brock at Malik's level. You know, sometimes you get over in a loss, and I think this did that for Brock. You know, he had Malik's number a couple different points, but Malik being the little shit house that he is, him and his shit housery pretty much ruined the day for everybody. I'm really excited to see where the wedding goes, and like you said, yeah, like any wrestling wedding, there will clearly be no issues whatsoever between anyone there. No.
To your point, I'm interested to see where it goes. It does kind of feel like we're leading to a Cassidy Garland situation. So is Joe going to have a stranglehold at the top of the card? I thought he was fired, for Christ's sake. This is how you know Brian's not reading. There's a trend here. There's a trend here.
I can't really say. So I don't know.
What's that?
I don't know.
Yeah. Straws, your thoughts on the main event for night 2?
Just the highest praise on like, yeah, this is just a great elevation of Brock Newblood in singles territory because coming out of like Ballyhoo and everything, but it's like you said, Gorman, like it, you know, I could tell it was like probably your favorite arc because just everything like flowed so well. I feel, and it was a good build to a very good main event. Even though Malik, you know, came away with the fist, I still feel like Brock Newblood shined here quite a bit, you know. And yeah, you know, this was a great arc, great main event program, and I think it really shows that Brock has like, you know, main event kind of vibes. Yeah.
Potential, I think is the word. Rob, I got you, player. Rob, your thoughts on the night 2 main event? Take us home, baby.
You just gotta love an absolutely deflating, just downer ending like that. Just absolute downer ending. But you know, just with that little bit of a hope spot near at the end, because of that implication of it's only beginning. Like, you know, this obviously because of the stipulation of this match, now all eyes are going to be on the next Def TV, and it's like, okay, where does this go? Because that's, you know, like, that is one of the signs that you got yourself a good pay-per-view when it leaves you wanting more. And it leaves you wondering what's next. So, yep, we're here. On we go to the Acts arc. Let's see where everything with Malik and SNS Texas.
Yeah, I'm not. To your point, Rob, I'm not sure how many times we've had a pay-per-view end where they tell you what the next Def TV is going to be, and then they just told you like, hey, here's like explicitly what you can expect, which is interesting. And again,
Yeah, it's not just it's actually like it's not closing the book. It's just ending the chapter and pointing you over to the next one.
I mean, literally, Teresa she carried a bag to the ring that said engagement ring. We should have known this was happening. This is what's happening.
I just like that it was like one of those things where it's like what you know could possibly happen on the next show is something you don't want to see. So,
yep. So buy a ticket. But that's so common though. That's wrestling, right? That is totally wrestling. Yeah. Oh my god. What's your match of the night here, guys? What's your for night 2 when you're looking at it? For me, it's either the main event or the tag match with Brubs, Douglas, and the Familia. But man, it's hard to go. Honestly, there's some good matches here. What's your match of the night here? I'll throw it to Straws first.
Oh shit! Give me match of night 2.
Match night 2.
This is the one I just skimmed through. How did you ask for that? I really like the main event, you know. Oh, no, I mean, well, match of night 2, main event, and JJ and whoever your character is. You disappeared.
Right. Sure.
You disappeared.
I'm here, man.
Corvo.
MV1.
Whatever. I don't know.
All right, it's fine. We're gonna get you there. Just stay. Well, I'll get you there, man. Just stay with me. Oh shit. All right, I'll take that. Mr. Gorman, your thoughts on match of the night here? And you can't pick yourself, which.
Definitely the Mask vs. Masks for match
damn.
of the night for me.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Nice.
I thought that was just a well-written. I thought it was just a good story overall. I mean, it's like a classic wrestling story, but you guys nailed it, and it was good.
Well, you know, how important is the mask is the question. And we'll go to Mr. Seth, the man of 1,000 voices, 1,000,000 characters, and several Def Radio appearances.
Def Radio royalty up in here.
Thank you. Yeah.
I think that's a toss-up, I'd say, between probably the main event and Mask versus Mask. Like, both had great stakes to it. Both had a really great post-match that kind of took an already great match even higher. So, so the follow-up is key, but I think it's going to be great for both stories, and I can't wait to kind of see what happens with in the next arc to come with both of those. So,
And Rob, your thoughts on match of the night for night 2?
Mask versus Mask, for the match itself, but most especially for that post match, for just like honestly, like that, everything after the match, after the closing bell, was more unexpected than anything that would have come out of the main event, I think, and that really is just what just edges it out over the main event in my eyes.
What are you guys most excited about next arc? What's the storyline specifically? If you had to pick one character, or what are you most intrigued by? You get to pick one thing. Pick one thing, and I'm going to give it to Gorman first. What are you most excited about, buddy? It can be your own thing.
No, I'm actually excited to see what happens with MV1. I really am. I thought that was a great match and like really good build up to see what's going to happen next with him. If he stays, or is he going to going to keep the gems?
Strasma, your thoughts on what are you most excited about next arc?
You know, this new mantra group expanding with Leigh and Fontaine. That and what's happening with MV1 joining the gyms. Obviously, I'm looking forward to quotation marks. You could see if I wasn't frozen to this wedding that we're going to have, and the insanity that's going to ensue out of that. It'll be fun. When are the arc docs due?
Don't worry about that. That's not important right now. We'll let you know. We'll let you know when that's
Not
important.
important right now, but 2 days away when I don't have anything written. In it.
All right, you know what? Arc docs are due in 3 days, so get to work. Rob, have you chimed in on what you're most interested in or most excited about?
I'm really curious as to see where things go with Corvo and MV1. And also, I definitely want to see what the payoff is for that wedding shtick on the next show.
That's mine. That's my pick.
Yeah.
It's that I want to. I want to see
lot.
Uriel and Douglas. I want to see that kind of take on a new complexion if there is, and don't scratch your chin. Yeah, I'm. That's what I'm most intrigued about. Seth, are you the last one? Have you talked about what you're most excited about yet?
No.
Go ahead,
will.
please.
But actually, I'm with Gorman too. I do want to see what happens with the MV1 Gems Corvo story, because that can go any number of ways. I could realistically see MV1 fighting Corvo. You could see Dixon fighting Corvo with MV1 in the middle. I think there's, MV1, maybe he does go to the dark side. So I think there's a lot of great storyline opportunities there and they all kick ass. They all sound like they kick ass equally. I'm also looking forward to what happens with the Mantra expansion pack.
The DLC. Let's call it DLC.
DLC.
Call it DLC.
The LET DLC.
Yes. There you go. Write that down.
I also have to give a shout out real quick because I missed when you guys talked about the Oscar Merge segment, but I have to thank Brush for the GC Universe idea and you for the all caps all grap sign. I'm like, all right, that's his catchphrase now. That's it. That's
You can have it. You only get one.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm not coming up with anything better myself. So no,
I feel like you channeled a little Big Rick there with the all caps.
Oh.
Big Rick. Oh yeah, that's true.
You're not going to let Big Rick go. All right, so
nor should he.
Nor should he. Absolutely. All right. So I do want to say, I think we accomplished this. We accomplished this a little over 2 hours. It's like 2.5ish, which is good. Thank you everybody for being a part of this. Thanks for watching. If you're watching, and if you're not watching, fuck you. It's kind of my vibe. That's my vibe. All right, thanks guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, peace
I
out.
have going.
Thank you.
Oh well, did anybody want to say anything else? Did anyone want to say anything?